Hey guys, I'm back with a new video. In this video, let us talk about floating elements. Now this is another technique that you can make use of for positioning elements and creating layouts. So let us create a new folder right inside the CSS folder and name it as 4.floating. And inside this folder, let us create a new file and name it as floating.html and also CSS file for it, styles.css. So head over to floating.html and let us quickly scaffold a HTML file. So exclamation and tab, floating elements. Let us link our styles.css file to this HTML file. Now let us create a div and give it a class of content. And inside this div, let us say we want a profile avatar. So dot profile avatar. And then let us add a paragraph with some dummy content, so lorem 20. Now let us define some styles, so head over to styles.css and define a rule for profile avatar, so dot profile avatar. So let us give this a width of 200 pixels, a height of 200 pixels, a background color of maroon, and a border radius of 50%. Now let us give this a preview to see what we get. So here is the result. Our paragraph element is appearing on a new line because as we know that the paragraph element is a block level element. Now to put the paragraph next to the profile avatar, we will use the float property. So for the profile avatar, let us set the float property to left. And what it does is that it will float the avatar element to the left side of the container. So let us give this a preview. So this looks okay. But what if we had more text inside the same paragraph element? It would have surrounded the profile avatar. So let me demo this. Let us say lorem 1000 and press tab and give it a preview. So here you can see our text has surrounded the profile avatar. So this is how floats work. Next, let us add a margin right of 20 pixels. So this is what we get. Let me revert back lorem 10. Now we can also float elements to the right side of its container. Now there is a problem with floats where the parent collapses around the floated elements. Now this means that the parent element do not see the floating elements and they collapse. So let me demo this. For this, let us give a border of 3 pixels solid black to the div with the class of content. So right here, border 3 pixels solid black, and here you can see that our parent element collapsed around the floated elements. Now what happens when we remove the paragraph element? So let me comment this out and then give this a preview. Did you see what happened? The parent element with the class of content has collapsed and now it doesn't contain the profile avatar anymore. The reason for this is parent element by default doesn't see the floating elements. So the parent element in this case has collapsed to a thick line, just the border, because it doesn't have anything inside it, right? So how we can solve this issue? Now we have a couple of ways that we can use to solve this issue. Now the first one is to make use of an empty div at the end of the div with the class of content. So right here within this div with the class of content, let us add an empty div with the class of clear fix and add a CSS rule for this empty div to clear the floats. So right here dot clear fix and set the clear CSS property to both, and this clears the floats. And now let us uncomment the paragraph first before giving this a whirl. And now you can see this solves the problem of parent collapsing. So whenever we make use of floats, we need to clear them after so as to not run into layout problems. Overall, floats are a bit hard to work with. You have to clear floats after. That is why it is recommended to use the more modern ways to build the layouts like Flexbox or Grid, which we will discuss in the coming lessons to build our layouts. So this was all I wanted to cover about floats in CSS. If you liked the video, do give it a thumbs up or comment down below if you have any query. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and I will see you guys in the very next one.